My name is Nassine Saps.
The Jesuit astronomer named as Consul Magno. He was the head of the Vatican Observatory and also the lead curator of the Pope's meteor collection. He came forward just recently saying that he would baptize E.T. no matter how many tentacles he had. He was followed by Benjamin Funes, another Jesuit priest who was working as the head of the Vatican astronomy, who came forward and said that aliens are our space brothers and did not suffer original sin. Both of these gentlemen were attached to CERN as they launched the alpha magnetic spectrometer to see the anti-universe. These two Jesuit priests and lead astronomers of the Vatican were the ones that they sent to CERN, the very two that were coming forward and legitimizing the idea of extraterrestrials. And of course, they're using the Lucifer telescope to find these Goldilocks planets, which is the name they've given to a planet that could be inhabited by Earthlings or humanoid beings. This has come even further as NASA announced they had an extraterrestrial ambassador who was named as Linda Rothschild. And of course, for the UN, and Maslin Othman, who is the head of the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, who states clinically saying, I am not actually the alien ambassador. But she is. The Royal Society came together. They even brought Henry Markram from the Blue Brain Project and Paul Davies, who wrote Are We Alone, and brought together all the lead thinkers to put together a talk called The Detection of Extraterrestrial Life and the Consequences of Science and Society Today. Legitimizing this over and over again, NASA, the UN, and the Royal Society all coming forward to tell us that ET is real. And I'm constantly left with the question, are they demonic? But Werner von Braun came forward saying that there was a plan for the weaponization of space and that they would use the Red Scare, terrorism, then asteroids and aliens to scare us into weaponizing space. He then told his assistant, Carol Rosen, to say that the message he kept giving was that we must prevent the weaponization of space, because if we do not, we will never know the truth of who we are, who we were as a human species in the universes. And he constantly referred to the multiverse and the universes. Of course, he was an SS officer that came over to start NASA. In May of 2009, I put together this artwork, and it showed Barack Obama as Akhenaten with an asteroid hurtling towards his head. Well, in December, many months later, they announced there was an asteroid hurtling towards planet Earth to destroy all life, and it was called Apophis, which is the Satan of Akhenaten's religion. So all of a sudden, everything I was looking at was coming true. And this has boiled up into becoming our United States Space Force. China has a space lab. We have a space lab. The Columbia Endeavor for the Discovery of Atlantis, our NASA space shuttle system, was shut down and militarized for the rise of Elon Musk's SpaceX.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, the fastest way to increase defense funding would be to bring out, like, hey, we found an alien. People are like, more money for defense, definitely. This is guaranteed. They would be like on display in 2 seconds.
Rockets everywhere this morning, while outdoing his fellow billionaires in the race to space. Amazon boss Jeff Bezos will blast into orbit next month.
Do you know what they call that?
A rocket.
They call it Blue Origin. Does that look a little odd to you? It's just me.
Now, have a look at what we call the SpaceX Dragon, is the name of his capsule, which is launched on a Falcon vehicle, which is the sign of Horus, using Merlin engines. Who is the lead magician? and again, connected to the merfolk. There is a United States Space Force, and we have many technologies going on. When the X-37B, the super secret robotic mini space shuttle launched in, has been orbiting our planet for 5 months right now. Did any of you know that? It is on its third mission, so if you don't know about this one, imagine the other two. On this third mission, what is known as OTV-3, the X-37B, the super mini space shuttle, also known as the Flying Twinkie, when it launched, there was a mysterious explosion in space that was filmed by an amateur astronomer, and next thing we know, we have meteors coming in, causing sonic booms and earthquakes. All right, I have been tracking these asteroids or strange meteors coming in, causing sonic booms and earthquakes for many years. I actually began with my first one that happened over the HARP facility in '99, and I've been tracking them since then on my website. The curious thing was I suddenly got a report stating that fireballs were classified as secret, and we could no longer get the data. But the X-37B is orbiting this planet right now, and it is a robotic space plane, much like Battlestar Galactica, which states in Battlestar Galactica, they always say, this has happened before and will happen again. So as you start to look to your technological wizardry and everything starts to come before you, and you see the signs of symbols before you, Steve Jobs told you that this symbol was actually the bitten apple from Snow White, given to you by a witch to put you to sleep. That's what Steve Jobs said. Or you could believe that it actually came from the serpent of the tree of life, as this symbol, of course, is a satanic logo. But you can carry on with your day-to-day mining, dig, 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 never knowing why, trying to get your bling. But the truth of the story is that the sky might be falling, or it might all be psychological warfare, as is expressed in the very story of Chicken Little. And I highly recommend all of you go home and watch Chicken Little and realize the psychological import of this story. As I don't know today, but they are currently programming our children to warfare. Walt Disney has been incorporated with the military-industrial complex since day one, and all of the programming that comes out of there is designed to program your children to warfare. They've taken over your store aisles, and for the girls, they've got monster princesses. And the catchphrase on the Monster High dolls is, be unique, be yourself, be a monster, which is actually Lady Gaga's phrase as well, be a monster. But now they've got the Novi dolls to get them to start to relate with the idea of human-alien hybrids. And for your boys, we've got the warfare, the competition, and all of the things that come with that. You want to go out and buy your kid an AR-15, and you might notice that when they put the displays on your stores, they don't even show the good side of the force. They're only promoting the dark side. And these new world capitals are built around us, and each of these capitals is extraterrestrial in that they are launching rockets into space. This is Astana in Kazakhstan, which is the main launching port for the International Space Station. It is actually a pre-planned city, much as Disney had incorporated in Epcot, or the first experimental prototype civilization of tomorrow. But what we're finding is that these pre-planned cities are actually designed as ancient seals or sigils of magic from Solomon's grimoire, and are actually designed as seals to bind spirits. If you were to look into the ancient magic of Solomon, you would find this sigil to state that he used this to control 72 demons that he had brought down to house his temple. And the doors are closing. The time is now to get this understanding, to start to figure out what's going on, because there's lots more going on planet Earth, and it's weirder than you know.
5, 4, command engine start. 2, 1. Ignition. We have liftoff. The Shepherd cleared the tower.
And New Shepherd has cleared the tower on our way to space with our first human crew. A beautiful rocket that provided a beautiful flight to space.
First up, your booster has landed.
Inflation.
And just 6 feet above the ground, that cushion of air will puff, and they will have a soft touchdown, almost like just sitting in a chair.
And touchdown. Welcome back, New Shepard's first human crew. What a flight.
Welcome back to Earth, first up. Congratulations to all of you.
Rockets everywhere this morning while outdoing his fellow billionaires in the race to space. Amazon boss Jeff Bezos will blast into orbit next month.
You know what they call that?
A rocket.
They call it Blue Origin.
I've always wanted to do this, and the sheer experience of looking out of the window is something I'm looking forward to.
It's looking at where we've been, where we're at now, and where we're going. It's just a really exciting time, and I'm really proud of all of our actors. We put together just the right people. Everything just happened like it was meant to be.
This is the second year we've been out to the Titanic.
This is the sub designed to reach the sea floor and travel the depths of the Atlantic Ocean.
We have our control screen here.
On this trip, it was carrying 5 people.
I've always liked extremes of possibility.
Among them was the British billionaire Hamish Harding. This is him before a previous adventure, an exploration of the Mariana Trench.
It's the challenge of going somewhere that practically nobody else has gone to.
And this is him yesterday, the last photographs posted on his company's social media account before the expedition vessel disappeared.
It is, frankly, a horrific concept, trapped in a tiny submarine far beneath the ocean surface with time and oxygen running out. For almost as long as it has lain on the ocean floor, the Titanic has aroused intrigue and fascination the world over. Resting as it does 3,500 meters below the surface of the Atlantic, the depths of its remains still conceals many of its secrets. And so it was in pursuit of exploring the sunken wreckage that a small submarine set off yesterday morning. But last night, around 400 miles off the Canadian coast, it went missing, with 5 people aboard, including a British man. Tonight, a desperate search and rescue operation is underway.
Rockets everywhere this morning while outdoing his fellow billionaires in the race to space. Amazon boss Jeff Bezos will blast into orbit next month.
You know what they call that?
A rocket.
They call it Blue Origin. Does that look a little odd to you? It's just me. Joining us now for more.
They are actors, and actors are neither men nor women. Actors belong to a third sex. Actors are actors, and one aspect of it is the political game.